Hey everybody. Hey, it's me, Delores the pastor's daughter, and it has been a while, honey. Like I haven't came and talked to you guys in like so long. I miss you guys. Y'all miss me. Listen. It's been a minute. I have a new microphone. Like some things have changed in life, you guys. Okay? Like I have a new microphone now. And I've just been working really hard behind the scenes. I've been doing a lot of writing, a lot of meditating. I hope you guys have been able to listen to my meditation videos and get you guys some good meditation going. It has it has really been um how can I describe it? Like meditating has been great, you guys. Meditating has been great. Like, it's been a little bit different for me because, I'm actually making the videos. So, like, by the time I actually, like, air it, to you guys, it's like I've heard it, like, several times, like, I recorded it and then I edited it, and, I put the captions to it and the graphics to it and all of that stuff, right? So it's like I've listened to it so many times that, like, sometimes I actually forget to take advantage of the actual meditation once it plays. So I'm trying to be, like, more intentional about, actually taking advantage of the meditation videos that I record. Um, so I was thinking, like, maybe, I would do some live with you guys, and then, maybe we can have some live meditation sessions. So that way, because I pre-record them, I can just go ahead and, um air it and do it live with y'all, right? Like, why not? So what y'all been up to? Who's up, honey? 'Cause, where I am in Alabama, it is 1:49 a.m. And you guys, um, this is kind of like normal for me. Like I'm usually up late and, up writing or, up creating something. So this is like normal for me. So I want to know, like, I don't really know too many people who do like late night live streams. And so I'm wondering if you guys would be interested in doing that sometime, like having some late night live streams where we kind of just, come on and talk. I mean, I know I can't be the only night owl around here. So I'm just thinking that maybe that would be a good idea. So let me see. I want to test this microphone and see what it sounds like. I haven't done my sound check yet. So let me see what we sound like, y'all. What's been going on? How is your new year? Like I feel like I haven't talked to y'all in so long. Like I've done a couple of Facebook lives, but I haven't gone live on all of my channels in a very long time. So let's see here. I haven't gone live on all of my channels. Oh, that sounds good, y'all. 1:49 a.m. What y'all think? Do y'all like the new microphone? Like I think it sounds really good. It's so clear. I put some I was telling my Facebook friends that I put some panels on the windows in a she shed because I have a little she shed. So this is where I like do my recording and my writing and pretty much everything. I take naps out here. I just do kind of everything out here. It's my little hideaway. But so I put some sound panels in the windows just so I can get like a better sound quality because y'all, I actually okay, like look, I'm a big deal, okay? like I actually um was asked. I was hired to do some videos, you guys, some meditation videos. And I've heard from people that they like the meditation videos, that, my voice is soothing and it brings them some comfort. So, I thank God for that. And I hope that you guys are really benefiting from that. Meditation has been an amazing thing. And It's something that's really good to increase your discernment. So I, when the latest videos that I've posted, I really want you guys to focus on discernment. I want us to really normalize, saying that word. I want us to normalize using discernment in every area of our lives every single day. So I've been working really hard behind the scenes to, make sure that I'm creating um just really good material for you guys to use to help increase your discernment. And so, not only have I been creating things that are just specifically discernment based, to help you learn, but I'm using my story and my story of growing up as the daughter of a narcissistic pastor as a case study, right? To help people to really increase their discernment. Because I think like the best way to increase your discernment is to really kind of look at other situations, because I mean, think about it, right? Like, how many times do you like give other people good advice, right? Like, you're like, you could see situations like the other people are in, like, but you sometimes you lack the ability to see it in your own life, you know? But see, that's not necessarily like a terrible thing, like it's not great, but it's not terrible, right? Because you just really lack the capacity, or not the capacity, but the knowledge, to look at other people's lives and look at other situations, but reflect that back on yourself and how you could be better, how you could be more knowledgeable, how you could move differently, how it just teaches you a lot about people. Because I mean, look, you guys, we can't live in this world without interacting with each other. It's just impossible. Even someone who is out like in the woods living like a nomad lifestyle, like they still in somehow, some way interact with people. It just feel like it's impossible to not. And so we really need to be smart about how we interact with one another, how we deal with one another. But also we don't necessarily have to learn all these hard lessons ourselves. We don't always have to just experience things firsthand. Sometimes we can learn from other people. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't necessarily have to get hit by a car, to know that it's like you've seen somebody get hit by a car before. You just know that you don't have to experience everything yourself. But see, that's what discernment teaches you, to learn from other people's lives and their experiences, and but reflect that back on yourself, so you can learn how to be a better person. So, anyways, that's what I've been working on. But like I was saying, I just kind of reached this impasse, and I felt like it was a bit of a depression. So I really have been in recluse mode. So you guys haven't seen me much because, that's just kind of like my process, when I feel like, or when I know that God is speaking to me. And actually, I didn't really know that God was speaking to me at the time because I felt like I was going through depression. but after a while, I realized that, in fact, it was really when I was coming out of it that I realized how much I created while I was in that, what I called a depression. But it was really like an isolation period where I was just in creation mode, because I was at this point where I knew that I wasn't ready to take on clients and really work with coaching people one-on-one just yet, but you guys saw that I was, gearing up to launch my coaching program. But I just ain't, I'm just not, wasn't feeling it in my spirit just yet that it was time for that, because I still feel like there is some internal work that I need to do and some toxicity that I need to let go of. And some confronting that I need to do in terms of this situation with my father. And you guys know, it's kind of reached, a closing point now. My father has blocked me on social media, on his Facebook page, Um, and I told him on his birthday, a few weeks back, that it would be my last time wishing him a happy birthday as my father. And then that's when he blocked me. And that's okay. I mean, it's not okay, but it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that makes sense. Um, like, I'm okay, but like I'm also not. If that makes sense. Like, the reality of the situation, is not okay, but I also knew what to expect and I was prepared. I feel like God really prepared me for what to expect, even though I still went through all the motions. I still did all the things that I knew to do as a daughter to kind of like plead and like, really just, really just try to um plead with my father to change, to like just kind of like plead to his better self. But I had to come to the realization that um my father doesn't have a better self, that just doesn't exist. And even if he was to change, I still wouldn't want him in my life. And so that means that now, I have to make a decision. I have to make a choice. And the choice is to, you know, let him go in a way that really severs the tie. It severs the trauma bond. It severs the toxicity that existed. You know what I'm saying? It severs it all, and that's a divorce, like that's how that has to happen. And I can't see any other way, you guys. Like, I know, like, you guys can admit that I've tried everything else, Um, I have, like, I've tried everything else. I have, like, y'all, I have begged and pleaded on these here social medias, okay? Like, I have really tried with my father, I wrote a whole book. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wrote a whole book. I mean, it doesn't get any more like trying than that, Whereas like you write a whole book and you're like, look, this is what you did, like this is what you said. This is, what I'm saying? Do you not see? Like, I'm putting it out here in front of you and saying, hey, like, this ain't cool, this is harmful, this has hurt me, all of these things, and to still be rejected, um, it hurts, you guys. It does. So, you know, I know what I have to do now. And so that's what I'm working on behind the scenes. And I feel like what has really been holding me back is, and I've said this like so many times, but I still hadn't done it, right? Like, it's like going through my book, like, the crazy part is I refuse to put any more books out, right? Like, even though I did put another book out, I put an ebook out. But we're not gonna talk about that. The point is that I said to myself, I'm not putting any more of the memoir series out, I'm not putting any more of the books out. And you guys, I have written so much, like, y'all just don't even understand. The memoir series is a 7-book series, and the book series is already mapped out, and most of the books are already written, but I refuse to put any more books out until I do the work, right? Because to me, it feels like there's work that needs to be done that has not been done yet, right? Like, I've done so much, right? I made so much progress. And you guys have seen, like, I have changed, honey. Okay? Like, I have really changed. But there's just this one thing that's like, it's like been a whole like thorn, y'all. Like, it's been just like like a whole obstacle. And that is actually going through my book and confronting, right? And the video that I was just doing, I was doing a pre-recorded video, and I was explaining the difference when between what I'll be doing, right? Which is confronting, right? But Lisa Nichols calls it carefrontation instead of confrontation. Okay, now let me explain, right? See, I wrote this down in my notes. So, the definition of confrontation is a hostile or a argumentative meeting or a situation between opposing parties, right? It's a face to face meeting between a suspect and a victim. It's a clashing of forces or ideas. In psychology, it's the act of directly facing or being encouraged or required to face a difficult situation, realization, discrepancy, or contradiction involving information, beliefs, attitudes, or behaviors. Now, we can all say, right, that there is all of those things between my father and I, right? All of those things. There's a clashing of forces or ideas. Okay. Okay. It's a difficult situation, a realization, a discrepancy, a contradiction involving information, beliefs, attitudes, or behaviors, right? Biblical terms, confrontation means having a face to face encounter with someone in order to bring biblical truth to bear on an idea of concern. And you can also say that that is the situation between my father and I, right? That there is a biblical truth that is an area of concern. So it says here, this is what I wrote in my notes, is that this is to be done with humility and motivated by love for God and love for the person being confronted. You are to speak the truth in love and to glorify God and benefit the person. Okay? Now, taking the definition that Lisa Nichols came up with and calling it carefrontation, okay? So that's CARE, like care, okay? Instead of con, which is a negative thing, right? Instead, we're changing that to carefrontation, right? Which should not be done, right? Not be done out of the desire to cause harm to a person or out of a sinful motive such as hatred or revenge, right? So you can say, right, in all honesty, that sometimes I was displaying like hateful and vengeful behaviors towards my father, right, in how I was addressing these issues, right, these discrepancies, if you will. Okay. So like you could say that, like, and I'll admit that, right, that I had a bit of hatred in my heart and revenge, right? I had revenge on my mind. And so every time that I would like start to address some issues, right, I would put like videos out or something like that, right, I would like do it and then I would pull back because it just didn't feel right to me, right? It felt like I was like stooping to his level, like I was just going low, kind of like you go low, I'm gonna go lower type of thing, and I'm just on my Michelle Obama right now, you know what I'm saying? I want to go high with this thing. Like I don't want to go low, and that's what I was doing, but it was causing me so much toxicity because y'all, that's just not my character. That's just not my way of doing it. That's my father's way. My father's way is hatred and revenge. And I was really matching energy. But every time I would do it, it just didn't feel right in my spirit. So I would like pull back, I would like do it. I would post something, it was just kind of like nasty or, just kind of like provoking, and it's just like, no, that's just not who I am, And the further definition of carefrontation is saying that it should be done out of an honest desire to restore and to reconcile a relationship, whether it's between the other person or between you and God. Okay? Now, does that make sense? Now, here is where it got me stomped, right? Because when I saw this part of it where it says it should be done out of an honest desire to restore and to reconcile. I was like, oh, hold on, no. No, we're not restoring or reconciling any relationship with my father. So I immediately like turned it off, Like, no, I wanted to go for the confrontation part, not the confrontation part, right? Like, no, I want the hostile, I want the argumentative, I want I want the victim facing off with the suspect. I want that. That's the toxicity, right? That was the toxicity that was in me. But it just didn't feel right in my spirit because that's just not who I am. But I also was like, hell no, okay, to trying to restore and reconcile a relationship with my father. But see, I kind of like skipped over the whole like reconcile relationship with God part. Because the first of all, I'm just thinking about, okay, like I'm good, me and God, we good, right? We good now. But I don't think that that's what it really means. I think that what it really means is that you're restoring and reconciling a relationship within yourself, with the God in you. Because what happens is, in my situation, and probably a lot of our situations, is we have been in relationship with a religious narcissist. And being in a relationship with a religious narcissist, as opposed to me, a typical narcissist, is that it really erodes your relationship with God, with the God in you. And so I think that is what I am gaining now from this definition of confrontation, which is why I want to take that approach now. That's the growth that is happening in me, is that I'm not down for the con part. I'm not down for the toxicity and the harmful part of this. I want what will restore me. And restoring, right? Now, let's think about restoration. When you restore something, right? You can restore, meaning like get back to something, right? And when I thought about my life, I'm like, I was born into a life, the daughter of a narcissistic pastor. I was born into it, right? So what am I restoring? What am I going back to, right? But when you restore, it's like you're restoring back to a state of health, right? Or a healthier state. And though I was born into it, right? I still was born just not knowing any, or not having any of that harm, not having the trauma, not seeing what I've seen and hearing what I've heard and feeling what I felt, So I'd be able to restore back to a healthier state of me, a healthier state of my connection to my creator and the God in me. When you reconcile, reconciling is like an accounting term, right? So like when you reconcile your books, like at the end of the month, right? You want to reconcile your books, meaning that you want all of your transactions to match up, right? Everything that you took out of your account, you want it to match up, right? To what's in your account. Now, all the things that you put in your account, the additions you made to your account, you want that to all match up at the end of the day, right? So you're reconciling, you're making sure that everything is matching up, right? So that there's truth there. And the only thing that can match up is truth. But when you have lived your life with someone who is manipulative and deceitful, narcissistic, then it's hard for you to reconcile the truth from the lies. It's hard to match that up at the end of the day. It doesn't match, right? It doesn't match between what they say and the life they live, how they treat you, and how they say they feel about you. And things don't match up. But when you carefront, right? When you use carefrontation in how you approach the situation with someone who is toxic, or with what you believed in your life and how you were raised, or how you were treated, right? When you can carefront that situation, then you seek to add that balance, to balance it all out. Yeah, I know that that's what the person said, but this is how I was treated, and that doesn't match up, and therefore I cannot have that person in my life, because what I want in my life is balance. Does that make sense, y'all? So that's what I've been going over, like, in my notes. And that's kind of, the realization that I've come to over time is that as I've tried to, like, speak my truth and tell my story, it's like I've tried to, and then it's just something there that's just like, this just doesn't feel right. Like, I don't want the, the whole, like, controversial, this is going viral. And, like, I've said that from the beginning. I don't want that. Like, I don't want that, because I feel like there is a message here that is beyond a viral moment. That what we're dealing with in this world of religious narcissism is so important that I don't want my story in this whole situation sensationalized. I don't want that, because you're going to miss the point. You're going to miss the opportunity to build your discernment, to really know how to identify harmful situations and people. We have become so desensitized to harmful situations. Like, y'all, even a deer, right? And I was thinking about this, like, yeah, a deer, like, you could, like, a deer sometimes seems to be like one of the dumbest, Jesus, it seems to be sometimes one of the dumbest animals sometimes, right? I don't know why, sometimes it just give me that vibe sometimes, Probably because of the way they be running, they be jumping, it seems like they be running the cars and everything else, y'all. But anyway, it's like a deer is smart enough to sense danger and run, right? Like, even a deer, which I think is one of the dumbest animals, is, like, smart enough to, like, sense danger and get the hell out of there. But why don't most of us women have that sense? Why don't we sense when we are in a dangerous situation with a man? Nothing perks up in our senses like, girl, he just said he was gonna kill you. You know what I'm saying? But nothing perks up in your senses that says, girl, get the hell out of there. This is dangerous. And that's because your discernment is off. See, we're not the deer. We're not a donkey. We're not one of these animals that, at least has a sense enough to run away from the predator. We have discernment, which means that we know steps and steps and steps ahead. We know from a mile away. We know from the things that weren't said that this is a dangerous situation, but your discernment is off. And I don't want this opportunity for people to really, like, increase their discernment skills to be sensationalized and sucked up in some viral moment. So on my main YouTube page, I've hidden most of my videos. I want to start over. Like, I want to start over. I don't want you guys to see that my father's toxicity taking over me, causing me to, provoking me, okay, you guys? Because that's the name of my book, The Pastor's Daughter Provoked. Provoking me to post things that I had no permission to post. Posting them out of a vengeful or a hateful motive or a angry motive. I don't want that. That ain't me. That's him. And I am seeing now that the best way, the only way, right? Because I've tried literally everything else, is to go through my book cover to cover. And I'm just going to take my time with this, right? Like, you guys don't have to listen, but I'm going to do it anyway. Could be nobody on here. I post a video, nobody watches. At this point, it ain't for you. It's for me. But maybe someone benefits by proxy. Someone benefits just by watching, just by listening. But I think in these situations where we're dealing with people that are so toxic and that use religion as a way to manipulate and control you, I think that the only way that you can sever the ties completely is to divorce them. Like, literally, divorce them. And I've tried everything else, y'all, and I just don't see any other way. I don't see any other way. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. Like I gotta do it for me, I gotta do it for me. So I'm gonna let y'all go. And this journey begins cover to cover, going through my book. And I'm gonna tell y'all everything, like I won't hold back, completely transparent, completely honest. I'm gonna confess what needs to be confessed, expose what needs to be exposed, say what needs to be said. And then we'll just, take the next step from there. I appreciate you guys being on this journey with me and giving me your time and your ear. And I appreciate your feedback. And I love you. And remember, you are important to me. I need you to survive. I love you guys. Bye-bye for now.